Hello there and welcome back to Sea Power. Today's objective is to finish the mission. Land Tarawa's forces to take back this radar station. The Soviets have taken it, we do not want it destroyed, we want it retaken. So that's what we're going to do. Tarawa has, unfortunately, encountered some resistance. The Soviets have a couple of naval patrols in the area, two of which have been identified, and it's now time to strike them. On the ASW front, we have deployed a whole spread of sonobuoys in front of the formation, and this should keep Tarawa safe, at least for the time being. She's going to transit right through that sonar field, or sonobuoy field really, and there is already another helicopter going in. This is a helicopter from the Yorktown, not to be confused with the carrier, because the Yorktown this time around is a cruiser. The other one's coming back, it's expended all of its sonobuoys, and well, let's just keep up this pattern of sonobuoys, potentially we'll find something. The F4s are acting as a picket, although their radar's off, and as such I'm hoping that they'll not get their position away and that we can surprise any, well, potentially future bombing runs that might be coming our way. The S2HF, or the SH2F over here, so far hasn't really found much. There isn't that much going on. You can see a little island, which is this island on the map. But so far, it seems fairly quiet. All we're getting are those merchants. And that is it. So far, so good. Keep it up. Let's wait for that P3 to close in. She's only 88 miles out. And launch a couple of missiles at that Krivac too. Anything that is Russian is fair game. So any Russian ship is going to get attacked. A few minutes later, the P3 and the jammer plane, the ES-6B, are in position. Let's have the radar go off one more time. Still can't see him, even though they're supposedly only 44 miles out. But we know their last known position, so I'm going to launch a salvo of 4 harpoons in that general direction. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This means the P3 is going to veer off, returning to base, and it is now time to activate the jammer. We want offensive ECM in that general direction. This should give us at least a decent chance of landing those harpoons on, well, anything. It's going to be down to the harpoons and their own seekers to find something, though. Because I can't talk to them, I cannot give them any further directions. We'll just have to let these guys figure it out all by themselves. New contacts. A couple of OSAs. 4 of them, no less. I am kind of wondering how I'm getting these things visually identified. Oh, it's the RA7. Wow. It's the RA5? You're spotting that from 70 miles out? That is very impressive. Visual sensor. Okay. These guys are quite dangerous, these OSAs. The OSAs carry the SSN-2, which only has a range of 21 miles, so the harpoons will be able to catch them out before they get to me. They do, however, have a CWIS system, so they're capable of intercepting my harpoons, should I send those after them. And unfortunately, this P3 just dumped all of its AGMs onto that Krivac, or actually a cash-in, apparently, as it is. If these guys were so kind to activate their radar, I could have this seed flight go after them. But at the moment, we're not quite there yet. Let's see if this flight of 4 harpoons is going to be able to damage these ships. One Krivac, which is bobbing up and down in the waves, and there's the cash-in. And you can see that little sun says that these guys are definitely getting jammed by the EA-6B here. The harpoons are only 13 miles out. I cannot really give them orders, so they're going to have to rely upon their own sensors, their own detection capabilities, and that is indicated by that seeker cone, which is on the map a layer that you can activate. Whoops. If you go here, you have map layers, and over here you have weapon seekers, and normally that's turned off. We're about 10 miles out from that Krivac. I think that Krivac is looking for missiles, and considering it's turning, it might be aware of the threat. You can see that their guns are already pointing at their designated targets, which is most likely these missiles. And yep, there we go. They're trying to fight. As long as they just use their guns, I'm perfectly happy with that. The moment that they start throwing missiles into the mix, the chances of survival are going up a lot. But it looks like all harpoons have decided to go for the other target, which is just behind them there. That's the Cashin-class destroyer. This guy, which is also engaging just with guns. The missile launcher is steady. I think the jamming is really paying off. We're having a very hard time intercepting these missiles. Not for lack of trying though, there's chaff, but we're not getting fooled by that. There's the skip. Yeah, you're pretty screwed. One hit. 2 hits. 3? 2. 2 harpoons flew past. Most likely getting fooled by the chaff, seeing their altitude. But this Cashin is dead. So that is at least one dangerous target out of the fight, because they do... Actually, so, this is not that dangerous of a unit. It's more of an air defense ship, anti-air focused guided missile destroyer. It would be if it wasn't getting jammed. So now let's turn the jammer off. I'm not even sure if you can. No, actually I don't think you can. But this guy still has the radars on, which means that the seed flight might be able to inflict some damage here. They're 90 miles out, and with the Shrikes they had a range of I think 25 to 29 miles. There. 25. They also got the AGM-65, but that's on a different loadout. That's the air-to-ground missile. This is not the loadout that I've selected. I've selected seed, so we do have a couple of self-defense missiles, and the rest is the AGM-45 Shrike. Just had a new radar contact pop up, 7041. I'm not sure what it is, but it is large, supposedly. I'm going to turn on... Oh, actually, it's already on. We're going to dip down for a bit. What is that? We're only 7 miles out. If this thing was hostile, it would likely have already shot upon me. Track does not respond. That is interesting. What are you? And should I be worried? There's no chance of identifying this. At least not yet. I just hope it doesn't blast my 4 F4Es out of the sky. That'd be pretty bad. As for the choice of plane, it's probably not the right one that the Norwegians were using, but this is kind of everything that we have available at this point, other than F-15 Eagles. Are you guys first going to try and turn around? There we go. 9 miles out. There. What is that? 8 miles out? It's possible that it was not shooting at us because we were too high. Whatever it is, it's large. And it's lonely. It's also only doing 7 knots. Might not be that dangerous yet. Five miles. Still can't see it, probably because of the air cover. Sorry, cloud cover. 5 miles. Lost radar. 4 miles. 3,000 feet. This is when I really wanted to have a P3 around here. Be far safer. Seed aircraft are ready to go. Are you still... He went MCON again. Crap, that means the seed flight cannot engage. Okay. Back over here. Altitude 4,000 feet. Visual. I can tell you that's something big, but that's about it. There. That looks an awful lot like a merchant. Does not strike me as hostile. Also because it hasn't tried to take a shot at me yet. So we can probably safely rule this thing out. Let's just do a flyby. Make sure we know exactly what that is. Could it be a fishing boat? Just a big one? Or is that a general cargo ship? Fighting hawks and dropping out tanks, that's fine. Yeah, it's a merchant. Okay. It's a Super P class. Very good. So, thank you for the inspection. Tip your wings as a salute, and be gone. There it is, down there. Okay, so that's one thing not to worry about. As for this Krivak, I want to know what he's up to. Let's have the radar pick him up, shall we? There you are. At the moment, I don't really have a weapon that can reach out and touch him. I don't have the capabilities to go after him with Seed because he's not using radar. The P3 here is just an ASW loadout. What? Where do you figure that? Oh, here. That's the other merchant. Where are those OSAs at? Because they were here. This area. It's gonna take forever for that P3 to cycle. Okay, fine. I could try using Harriers from the Tarawa with an anti-ship loadout. So just hopefully dropping bombs on them. They do have Sea-Wiz. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, but I'm willing to try. So let's get to anti-ship flights. It's going to be a nightmare, alright. It's just not necessarily the enemy who's going to have the nightmare. As for this guy, I'm not touching that with my Harrier. Oh, they turned the radar back on. Fire. Engaging. Thanks out. Missile away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good enough for me. Tight. But the whole formation is going to go tight? Yes. Good. So we've got these 4 missiles going out, because they're using their radar. I'm not sure what happens when they turn their radar off. If they turn their radar off, potentially the strike's going to go for the last known location, which is not accurate, because the ship's moving at 14 knots. If they're going to go and just look for something themselves, or, I don't know, crash into the water, let's hope this Krivak maintains their radar. Look at the speed on these missiles, 1220 knots. There he is, right there. He's still getting jammed. I'm not even sure if you can shoot these things down. There's chaff. I'm sorry, chaff is not actually a radar source. Ooh. Hit. Well, that radar's... that radar's deactivated. It looks like their surface search is still on. How do we hit him? We might need to give him a bit more attention. Yeah, we're going after 7037. Second strike. Away. Alright, go back, boys. Good to go. It's going to be quite the flight for these guys to go back, 300 miles about. And then reload, and then come back again. So before we see these, that's going to be a while. Maybe we can eliminate this Krivak, which would be nice. It would at least, well, shore up the landing location somewhat. And potentially allow us to get in there. Without the further use of harpoons, that is. On station. The raiders are still active. They haven't learned their lesson. That's fine. There's the chaff again. And that looks like a bow hit. Yep. Looks like all raiders are now deactivated. But is that a confirmed kill on that ship? Nukrotimi. So, how good is your damage control capability? Speaking of buoys, you can go MCON again. Go here. How many buoys we got left? 2. I've set up a pattern for a few more. So we got 1, 2. That means that this waypoint cannot be executed. Nor that. I believe we already had another helo cycling up. There. Like I'm building a whole corridor for the Tarawa and company to sail through. There, there. Really hope not to find anything submersive there, but can't be too sure. Okay, that should keep you busy for a minute. So remove that waypoint, and you're going to go right for the sonobuoy drop. Excellent. Our first sonobuoys, I am expecting them to shut down fairly soon. Yeah, I'm not wrong. 3 minutes. But that's where the Tarawa is at the moment. So if they were trying to have a submarine in the area, we would have detected them. Or we would have been torpedoed by now. Whichever happens first. You guys are loitering. That's the strike for the OSAs. Let's have you guys go up there. Go to 20,000 feet. Is the other flight airborne yet? Yep, that's Nightmare 3. Let's go. OSAs to engage. 20,000 feet, off you go. What I'm surprised about is that I can't see them anymore. Go back to 37,000 feet with the RA5C. Maybe that'll allow us to reacquire. As for this Krivac in the meanwhile... Yes, his radars have been deactivated. But he seems in pretty decent condition. I don't see any sinking indication yet. Although in this sea state, that might be harder to spot. At least I don't think he's going to be much of a threat anymore without his radars. And of course those weapon impacts of mine, those strikes, they definitely took out some of his weaponry. Just remains to be seen how much. Way to activate your surface search. It took me quite a while to reacquire this group here, but these are the OSAs. These are the ones that I was looking for. 7047, 0048, 7049. And I'm expecting a fourth to pop up there, because they seem to be in that sort of echelon formation. Nightmare Flight is standing by to drop a couple of Mark 83s on top of those OSAs. At least that's the plan. I want to synchronize these flights. We're going to have these guys operate, at least for now, together. Oh, there's the fourth one. Hostile. I can try jamming them. I'm not sure if that's really going to do anything useful. But hey, if it shuts down their ESM... Oh, sorry, their radars. I'm all for it. Now, let's wait for these guys to catch up. And then we're going to bomb some OSAs. Whether these Harriers are going to make it out alive, I'm not too sure. Of course, the safer option is just to wait and get the harpoons in. But seeing as I don't have harpoons, at least not that many, I don't really want to waste harpoons quite like that. I'm going to disband the formation. And now we're going to open this up. Nightmare 1. Your target. 7050. Nightmare 2. 7049. Nightmare 3. 7048. Nightmare 4. Target 7047. Okay, here goes. We have them detected, I think, on the radar from these guys. Yeah, on the SH-2F. And they're only 9 miles out. It just goes to show how small these targets are and how difficult they are to detect. I really want to see how much these Harriers are really going to do with these Mark 83s. Yes, they're decent bombs, but can they actually land them? That's what I want to see. Time for the Harriers to come in and strike these OSAs. They're all going to be arriving more or less at the same time. And hopefully this is going to overwhelm the OSAs. Keep in mind they don't have missiles, but they do have Sea Whiz. And that can be quite dangerous. These ships, however, are getting jammed. There we go. A couple of Mark 83s away. Oh crap. He's gone. Nightmare 3 is down. Wow, that was fast. Okay, Nightmares 2 and 1 still have to drop their cargo. Turning their Sea Whiz, dodging. This is Nightmare 1, preparing to drop. We did have a hit. There you go. That's some Submarine Osa. Oh, there we go. He just popped right back up on the waves. I'm not sure if that'll kill him. As for this one... Oh, dodged. Good. Did we get him? Oh, we splashed him. We didn't get a direct hit, but... Ooh. He did. That's good damage right there. He's completely gone in one go. The other ones... I'm not sure. Like, this guy just got splashed. This guy's perfectly intact, and this one got damaged. Maybe they will burn up. These are not big boats. A fire like that could kill them. Second Osa confirmed dead. Third Osa confirmed dead, so that leaves just one survivor. Target 7048. This is good, because if this guy engages, he only has 4 missiles. Which is the Styx, 21 miles. I can probably pop this guy with 1 or 2 harpoons. Not that big of a deal. Alright, excellent work, Nightmare. Come back to base. There's a bit of eye candy. Here's one of our returning AV-8As after having expended all of their bombs on the Osas and being successful. I am a little surprised that they're coming in as, let's say, a landing, with a regular landing, like a plane would do it. I thought the Harrier would land vertically, but either that's not in the game or I'm completely wrong about that, but I'm sure you guys down below in the comment section can let me know as to how that is. I do want to point out that these fans are now pointing vertical. And there we go. That's another Harrier recovered. So that's a neat little detail, that even the fans are actually modeled in-game like that. There's just so much eye candy in this game. You can see this guy still has his fans pointing back, so it's just these little details that, for RTS purposes, aren't really required to be in the game. But they just make it look good, and I really appreciate that. The ASW sweep by the Tarawa, or rather by the aircraft from the 2 escorting ships, seems to be complete. If we stick to this corridor, we should be fine, and nothing should sneak up on us. However, most of the sonobuoys have already timed out, and these guys are out of range on top of that. So, while these sonobuoys are deployed, it is of course possible for submarines still to sneak up on this ship. So I do want to have just another helicopter out there. I think it's Yorktown's turn again. And just make sure that I keep dropping some sonobuoys in case something does sneak up on me. As for that other Krivak, I have no idea where he is. He was quite close to the cash-in, and there's just nothing there. Considering the damage that he's taken, I don't really expect him to be very mobile. But this helicopter has had its radar active the whole time, and it couldn't find anything. So that's a little surprising. Where did he limp off to? A while later, we have 2 harpoons in the air going for the last surviving Osa. Now, this does seem to be a bug. This Osa maintains its position in the formation and is doing essentially nothing. Only now that it's come under attack, does it actually decide, oh, maybe I should be moving. So this is something that I did report to the developers, and I'm hoping that that's going to get fixed, because I've had it happen a few times where these ships just sit in their less known location in the formation, if you will. I mean, strictly speaking, yeah, it's going to do exactly that. It's just going to be doing it underwater. But a ship that has lost its formation mates should just keep moving. It should just go and, okay, well, new situation, we're the only survivors. Not great, but that's the situation as we find it. So a ship like that should continue its course, or inherit the leader's orders, for example. So I reported that, and hopefully that is going to get fixed. As for this Osa group, it is not going to be a threat to the Tarawa or any of her friends. As for my aircraft, well, as you can see, we still have that sonobuoy pattern. The RF-5C is still doing airborne loops. It's not really spotting much of anything. I'm going to bring it a little closer to the landing zone. We're still about 7 hours away from that zone, but seeing as everything we've taken out, a cash-in, a couple of Osas, some bombers, maybe there isn't that much left. So I'm going to run time acceleration for a bit and see how much faster we can get there. I'm not too sure where the hell they came from, But Tarawa suddenly reports they've been hit by 4 wake-homing torpedoes. Well, 4 torpedoes, 2 of those wake-homers. The other one, 65, 76, I'm not even sure what those are. Oh god. And we combed the whole area. We had sonar buoys every... How did they manage to pull this off? It's not like we can assist Tarawa with the damage control. Heavy flooding. Oh, come on. What was that? Active sonar.
Transmit active sonar. Sonar
Yorktown 2.
Transmit active sonar. Sonar high.
Leave the formation. Same for you.
Turn to course.
I just want to find what that is.
Turn to course.
Come here.
1. Turn to course. 2.
Yorktown.
0. 6. Helm high. Contact faded. Track 7. 0.
Look at that smoke plume from Tarawa. How did this happen? How did they sneak a submarine in?
Turn to course. 3. 0. 8.
Most of the Russian torps have a range of what, 10 miles?
Abandoning ship.
Abandoning ship? Oh, Tarawa's destroyed. How did they... That's where exactly the sonar buoys were. They must have snuck in later. Without the Tarawa, the mission's toast. Oh, God. All this effort. Only to get sunk by a fucking submarine. Where was he? Was it a Victor 3? No. Where is he at? There. There's Tarawa. Tarawa's bearing 030, so he's like here. He must have snuck in from the south. Sneaky, sneaky bastard. Maybe we can at least get some revenge on him.
6. 3. Helm high.
Good lord. I thought the mission was going well. I thought we had him. And then the game goes, no. And just kills you like that. Yorktown, get over here.
Turn to course. 1. 8. 9. Helm
I
high.
said it's 2F.
Turn to course. 2. 1.
Of course, this is a little bit late.
Turn to course. 2.
But I'm gonna see if I can get some revenge on him.
Helm high.
Goes to show that even after you've cleared an area, you're not quite done. Because of course, an area can get repopulated.
Turn to course. 1. 8. 8.
This kind of also puts Yorktown at risk here. Okay, give me a sonar buoy here as well. You. Sonar buoys here, here, here. I think it might have been an exact perfect situation for that Victor 3 to hunt in as well. Bad weather for us. Lots of noise.
Contact faded. Track 7. 0. Buoy away.
Track faded. Okay. No joy.
Buoy away.
Is it really that guy that we're hunting? Let me check. Victor 3. He's much closer. He's much closer.
Turn to course. 3. 0. Helm high.
Get over here. He managed to get within what? A few miles of Tarawa? Like 5 miles? And then he opened up. And I can't fault the guy because that's exactly what he should be doing, but... Damn. Stay here.
4. 5. Helm high.
Yorktown's gonna launch their helicopter.
Buoy away. Turn to course. 3. 0. 6. Helm high.
I just can't find the guy. Get this other helo to continue that clockwise.
On station.
Where is he? What on earth are you doing? You're supposed to go here and drop sonar buoys, dude.
7. 9. Helm high. Buoy away.
I guess it's possible he's below the layer. Yeah. This is map centering on the unit. So he's supposedly right next to a sonar buoy. Right? Yeah. He's supposedly right in the middle of that field. The hell? Let's do a low overflight. Maybe we can pick him up on MAD.
Turn to course. 2, 1, 4, helm high.
Nothing. Sneaky, sneaky boat, that Victor 3.
Buoy away.
No, not a sonar buoy. I just want you to keep going.
Turn to course.
There's nothing here.
Helm high.
We're not picking him up on active sonar. Well, we can deploy the towed array, I guess. But at this point, I doubt it's going to really make much of a difference. As for Yorktown, Yorktown isn't getting him either. Then again, Yorktown's more of an air defense cruiser. Her sonar capabilities are probably much less.
On station.
Nothing. Well played to the Russians, that. Well done to the Russians. I was too busy looking for things in front of me to figure out that they were right next to me. Right. Well, I guess that's a bit of education for you right there. And this is what happens to the Tarawa. And there was no warning either. No torpedo in the water, nothing. Just one dead well, not aircraft carrier, dead landing ship. Okay. Well, if you guys want to try this scenario by the time that the game comes out, by all means, link down below in the description. I hope that you guys can get to landing position and can get those troops dropped off from Tarawa and not get snuck up on by a submarine. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the scenario, and I'll see you soon for more.